Hello everyone, and welcome to Victoria's Action Figure Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Saga Legends 2014 Stormtrooper. Now, technically this guy came out at the very end of 2013, but, I never saw him at retail. Don't know many people who did until this year, so I'm categorizing him as a 2014 figure. Here's a look at the packaging. As you can see, the second series of Saga Legends figures follows the same format. You get the same packaging with the Revenge of the Sith inspired Darth Vader lava look. I think it's fairly cool and a nice change of pace from what we've had over the last few years. So this figure, I was at Target earlier today and I hadn't seen any of this wave in stores yet, but lo and behold, they had one of each figure in this wave. So they had one of each figure in this second series of figures. So I picked up a few of them, not all of them. Got Stormtrooper, Boba Fett, and Captain Rex. I'll show you those other two in other reviews. But, let's take a look at this guy. I had seen him online in photos, and, I thought he looked really great. But, once I saw him on the shelf at the store, I was like, dang, he looks really good. And he does. Just looking at him, he looks like a perfect little Stormtrooper. It's basically like if they were to have taken the Stormtroopers we saw in A New Hope and then shrunk them down to, action figure size. That's basically what this guy looks like. The sculpt is phenomenally done. Just from all angles, he looks really, really good. Scaled very nicely. He's very proportionate. They just did a really, really good job, and I'm really happy that I found him. Out of all the figures in this newer wave, I hadn't seen any of them, but he was the one I wanted to get more than any other. So, super glad that I found him, and, I'm really pleased with him. Close-up of the head right there. Again, it's sculpted very nicely, and, the paint is quite good. It's not perfect. As you can see over the little black band there on his head, there's a little bit of overspray, and on his right lens, there was a little bit of white paint. And I was able to get it off, just a little bit of warm water and by rubbing it. The mouthpiece is relatively nice. Again, the sculpt, give you a look at the rest of the body right there. And the detail isn't anything super, super fancy, but, I think they captured it exactly as it, needed to be for a $6 figure. This is really super nice. Give you his backside right there. It's nice that this piece doesn't come off like a lot of the figures have in the past. That piece was terrible. You had basically held it in with the rubber plastic band that came with the figures, and thankfully this one doesn't have it. Another thing of interest is that there's no holster on this guy, like some of the other Stormtrooper figures. Now, I wouldn't have minded a holster if it was something that was a little inconspicuous and didn't get in the way of posing him. I really wouldn't have minded them including one, but the fact that it isn't there doesn't make or break the figure by any means. It's still an awesome figure. I wouldn't have minded something that was maybe, just kind of attached there to his leg or something that kind of just went up with him. In terms of articulation, he has a swivel at the head, he has a swivel at the shoulders, and a swivel at the hips, and that's all you get. Included with him is your standard run-of-the-mill Stormtrooper Imperial issue blaster. It is quite nice, and it looks to be quite similar to the ones that have come before. It may be a different molding. I'm not entirely sure. Another thing I noticed about this guy is his head seems to be tilted ever so slightly over to the right. I don't know if it's just my figure or if they're all like that, but it's not too noticeable, so it's not a big deal. All right, so here's our obligatory comparison. On the left, you have the new Saga Legends Stormtrooper, and on the right is one of the vintage style super articulated Stormtroopers. I'm not sure exactly which one it is because there are several. This one doesn't have the removable helmet. As you can see, the one on the right is a little bit more detailed. They spent a little more time focusing on the little things. Whereas the one on the left is a little more basic. The one on the right also has the super articulation, which, is cool and all. But, I think the Saga Legends one just looks so much more like the Stormtrooper from the film. It totally looks like they shrunk him down to action figure size, and that's just really awesome to me. I'm so happy that after all this time, Hasbro has finally come out with a truly awesome looking Stormtrooper. Now, I can appreciate a beautifully articulated figure just as much as the next person can, but to me, likeness is the most important thing when it comes to action figures. If it doesn't look like what you saw on screen, then all articulation in the world is fairly meaningless in my opinion. So, I definitely prefer this guy over him. So all in all, I think this guy is absolutely great. And, I've done a very good job at avoiding the very first series of these newer Saga Legends figures. In fact, the only one that I've picked up so far was the Super Battle Droid. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back and get any of the others, but, the second series is very promising. If the second wave is any indication as to what they're going to do going forward with the line, then, I'm pretty excited. Now, despite how awesome he is, the Stormtrooper is by no means a perfect figure. The sculpt is awesome. The articulation I find to be totally adequate, and the paintwork is really nice. But he is a little bit heavy on the upper portion of the torso, so if you want to have him standing like that, he kind of tends to just want to go over once the arm is sticking out. It's not a huge deal, but I suppose it is because his feet are a little bit small, perhaps even a little bit smaller than they should be. But in any case, this is one of the best figures that Hasbro has ever come out with, and I say that with 100% confidence. Over the years, I've purchased hundreds of Hasbro Star Wars figures, and I kind of feel like I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but, at this point, this is absolutely one of my favorites. Definitely the best Stormtrooper that Hasbro has come out with. You need this guy, no question about it. In fact, I'm hoping to find more of them because I definitely would like to pick up a few more of these for my personal collection. Thanks for watching Victoria's Cantina. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.